Today we hear from Don Zimmer, who won June's runoff election but gave up the seat shortly thereafter to avoid a court challenge over questionable absentee ballots.
My family and I are here to stay, and we love Hoboken, and we just want to make it the best place that it can be.
Fourth Ward Council candidate Don Zimmer talks about the reason she's fighting to get her seat back. Last June, she won a runoff election by a narrow margin. However, her opponent, former Councilman Christopher Campos, challenged the results, with Zimmer agreeing to vacate the seat to avoid a court fight. Now she's back on the campaign trail, determined to win Tuesday's special election.
I'm fighting hard to keep that small town feel and to make sure that the people of Hoboken are represented and that we're voting, I'm going to be voting for what's best for the people of Hoboken, not what's best for the developers.
In fact, Zimmer is promising to fight to create more affordable housing for both families and seniors.
I want to make sure that the people who are born and raised are able to stay in Hoboken. That is very important to me. Some ideas that I would really like to implement is having more senior housing, and maybe having a daycare center in the senior housing so the seniors can work with the children and they feel more part of the community. Maybe having a senior gym so they can stay active. So we want to try and have, affordable housing for seniors that are 55 years and older, more affordable housing for families.
Unlike her opponent, she supports the open space referendum that would implement an assessed tax with the money being used to acquire land to create new parks.
I think we're better off having more park space rather than too many condos. And I feel strongly that the children at Connors and the children at the Boys and Girls Club should have, a ball field to go out to.
While she supports the Southwest 6 plan as a way to help reduce flooding in the ward, she wants the council to come up with short-term solutions in the meantime.
I've introduced, and I'm going to keep pushing for this wireless technology that could help to alleviate the flooding. The University of Notre Dame has this technology where you put sensors into the sewer system, and it would help us to know when the flooding is starting to happen and be able to take preventative action, to prevent the flooding. So it's something that could work with the long-term solution. Another idea that I have is looking at our building codes. And, my question is, why do we have it so that, I think we should make it so that people who have gardens or flower beds should be able to recycle their rainwater and use it for their gardening or for their flowers. If everyone in Hoboken did that, we could start to alleviate the situation. Right now, the way it works is all of our stormwater from our roofs goes down into the sewer system, and because we have a combined sewers, it starts to fill everything up. So there's small things like that.
Zimmer is vowing to create more programs for children as well.
I am very proud of taking part this summer and really supporting this program. It's called Susan's Shape Your Future, and it really brought children together, and I went around with her and invited children from the Fourth Ward, from the Housing Authority that participated in it. And, the idea was to teach them about, their own self-confidence, developing their own self-confidence, thinking about exercise, thinking about eating right. And, and I know children who participated in it. And one young woman is now, she had never played on a soccer team, and she's now playing this year.
Regarding the Housing Authority, where her opponent has served as commissioner for the past several years, Zimmer says,
I think that there may be issues where people are getting apartments who don't necessarily deserve apartments, and I am going to be calling for an investigation looking into, how this process works and making sure that the people who really need those apartments, who've been waiting for years for those apartments, get the apartments that they deserve.
All things she's hoping voters will give her the green light to do when they go to the polls on Tuesday.